Dear students, welcome back to the CUET mock exam solution discussion of the session Quantitative Aptitude. So here we have first question is from the topic numbers, basically it's from the area progressions. So hope you all are well aware about the concept of arithmetic progression. This is such a kind of progression, arithmetic progression, or we know that this is nothing but consecutive natural numbers start from 91 onwards. Then how to find the sum of these all numbers, so which way we can find out it. First of all, we have to consider how many numbers here. So how to find the number of terms here? Oh, that's simply from 91 to 140, how many natural numbers there? How to find it? You just subtract this 91 from 140. Then add a 1 to this result. So this is the way to find out the number of numbers from, number of consecutive natural numbers from a particular value to another range. So here 91 to 140. This way we can find out it. What is the difference here? This is equal to 49 plus 1, that is 50. So here we have 50 natural numbers. Then how to find out the sum of these 50 natural numbers? There you can apply the result like Sn, sum to n terms of an arithmetic progression. Obviously it's an arithmetic progression because consecutive natural numbers are arithmetic progressions. So then how to find out sum to first n terms of an arithmetic progression? We can apply the result n by 2 into first term plus last term. Correct. Applying this result, here we have the value for first term, number of terms, that is 50. This is 50 by 2 into, here the first term is 91 and the last term is 140. So just simplify it. So once we are doing this operation, this is 25 into, sum of these all values, what it will become? This is equal to 140 plus 91. That is equal to 231. Just multiply it. So I will teach you an easy way to multiply any number by 25. So there is a tricky approach for this kind of a multiplication process. How to do the multiplication here effectively. So here, whenever, if you need to multiply any number by 25. So you just divide that number by 4, then multiply it by 100. That's it. Instead of doing that multiplication by 25, it's quite comparatively easier when we divide it by 4. Think about this number. You just simply consider when we divide this number by 4. So then multiply it with 100 like that. So here 231 divided by 4, you just simply think about it. So how many times this 4 lies in 231? So that is 5 times. So 5 times of 4 is equal to 20. Then 31 is there. So what is the value here? 7 times of 4, that's equal to 28. Then 3 will be there. What is 3 by 4? 3 by 4 is equal to 0.75. We just multiply it by 100, then we will get 5775. So like this way we can do it. So otherwise we can explain it like this, 231 by 4. So this is equal to 57.75. Just multiply it by 100. So that is equal to 5775. This way we can find the answer of this question. It's such an easy question. The next question. The average revenues of 9 consecutive years of a company is rupees 80 lakhs. If the average of first 5 years is rupees 75 lakhs and that of the last 5 years is rupees 87 lakhs, find the revenue for the 5th year. So understand the pattern of this question. It's a typical form of average question. So how to find the answer of this kind of a question? Here the importance here, total 9 observations. So out of those 9 observations, its first 5 observations average is given. Similarly, last 5 observations average also given. So what happened? The middle term repeated in both the set of values. So this is such a kind of question. You have to identify which will be the middle value. So how to do that kind of an operation? So whenever we are thinking about what is the average, actual average of these 9 terms. So that is 80, it is given that. Therefore, sum of 9 terms. So here we can consider it sum of 9 terms. So 9 terms in the sense here the revenues. So we can take that is 9 terms. So that is 9 into 40. So this is equal to 360. Here we just, that is 360 lakhs. We just simply consider the numerical part. You don't want to bother about the units at this kind of an operational step. The second one, sum of the first 5 observations. Sum of first 5 observations or 5 terms. It is given that the average of the first 5 terms is 75 lakhs. Then what is the sum of second 5 terms? Second 5 terms. So that is 5 into 87. So therefore, if you are adding these two things, what you will get, this is 5 into 75 lakhs plus 87 lakhs. This is the total sum of those five terms. So which is the repeating term over here that we have to subtract like that for getting the middle term. For getting the middle term, so what do you want to do here? So therefore, the middle term, or that's the repeated quantity in both these calculations. Here, this is 5 into 75 plus 87 minus this 9 into 40. So 9 into 40. So this is the simple step to reach the conclusion of this kind of a question. Understand the concept. Here the first 5 terms in the sense it contains the terms. Suppose if you are considering the terms like A1, A2, A3, A4 and A5. So these are the 5 terms. And the last 5 terms, how it will be? A5 onwards you have to start. A5, A6, A7, A8, A9. What happened? The term A5 repeated in both these steps. Therefore, what is this sum? This is nothing but A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 plus 2 times of A5 plus A6 plus A7, A8, A9. That's it. Therefore, we have to filter that A5 because there are 2 times. When we subtract this sum, what is this sum? This is A1 plus A2 plus A1 plus A2 plus etc. A9. So when we subtract this sum from this total sum, we will get the middle term. So that's the simple logic here. Then how to solve it? So just simplify it. So this is 5 into. So here the sum, that is 5 plus 7, that's equal to 12. So this is 162 and this is 9 to 40, that's equal to 360. So just subtract this one. So just multiply first this one. This is 5 into 2, 10 is there. Then this is 5 into 16, that's equal to 80, 81 minus 360. What's the difference here? Whenever we are considering these values, this will be in the form. So this quantity will be in the form 5 of these values into 9 to 40. Okay, then move to the next question here. So this is a question from the topic average. The average revenue of 9 consecutive years of a company is 80 lakhs. If the average of the first 5 years is 75 lakhs and that of the last 5 years is 87 lakhs, find the revenue for the 5th year. So how to consider this one? Here we are considering the different terms for 9 years so that we can write in the form. So this will be, so all these 9 years observations first we can consider. 9 years observation, that is nothing but A1 plus, A2 plus, etc. A9. There are 9 observations. So what is the total sum of this 9 years revenue? That is nothing but 9 into 80. Here this is 80 lakhs. So therefore this total is equal to 720 lakhs. Clear? Then what is the second data? It is given that the average of the first 5 years. So how we can write first 5 years, that is A1 plus, A2 plus, A3 plus, A4 plus, A5. So this is first 5 years. That is 5 into 75. And that of the second 5 years, don't forget that point here, the second 5 terms start from A5 onwards. So this is A5 plus, A6 plus A7 plus A8 plus A9. So that is 5 into the second average, that is 87. This is a basic idea. You just simply consider whenever we are adding these two terms together, what you will get? Just observe the left hand side. That is A1 plus A2 plus etc. So what about A5 here? Look at A5, it's repeated twice here. Therefore, 2 times of A5 plus A6 plus etc. A9. So this is 5 into 75 plus 87. So if we need to find what is A5, you just subtract this value, this first equation, from this final equation. So that is, what is this equation? That is A1 plus A2 plus etc. A5 only one time here, that is A6 plus etc. A9. So that is, we already found, that is 9 into 80, or that's equal to 720. We just subtract them. So when we are subtracting this one, what will happen? This A5 only remains there. So understand that step of operation here. This is 5 into 75 plus 87. So what is the value here? That's equal to 162. 162 minus 9 into 80. Got it? So simplified, what you will get? This is equal to 810. This is 720. So the difference is equal to 90 lakhs. So here the answer is 90 lakhs. This is an algebraic version of this type of an operation. But once you are familiar with the concepts, you don't want to do the step of operations like this. Instead, directly you can reach the conclusion here directly from the data. How it will become? So it is, first you have to understand the question here. Total 9 years data given. First 5 years and last 5 years. There you have to understand the middle term repeating in both the set of observations. So if you need to catch that repeated quantity, how it will become? So therefore the middle term, simply you can take, it will be 5 times each of this 75 and 87. You just subtract the total sum. Here that is nothing but 9 into 80. So with the help of this step, you can directly reach the conclusion. So that's a simple logic. Understand this type of questions here. Okay. So then move to the next question. Here, in an army selection process, the ratio of selected to unselected was 3:1. If 60 less had applied and 30 less selected, the ratio of the selected to unselected would have been 5:1. How many candidates had applied for the process? It's a question from ratio and proportion. Basically, the ratio, application of ratio here. So in ratio, it's under the area of changes, then ratio values. That's the concept here. How to do it? Here, you have to understand that categorizations. So here, a total number of candidates given and the selected and unselected given. So here, first you have to consider selected to unselected. Initial ratio is 3:1. So I'm writing here. So here, selected to unselected. Got it? Selected to unselected. So what happened this ratio? This is 3:1. You just write it like this, 3:1. When we are adding or subtracting something with this kind of a ratio value, you have to put the multiplicative factor like 3x and 1x. Understand our assumption. Initially selected number as 3x and unselected number as 1x. What's the variation occurred here? 60 less had applied and 30 less selected. Understand that point. 60 less applied and 30 less selected. So here we are constraining. Or if we are constraining this selected and selected will be like this. Here 60 less applied and 30 less selected. So you have to subtract a 30 from here. So there unselected. So from the total number of applicants, we are removing that 60 members. Out of those removal of 60 members, 30 are selected members. Therefore, rest 30 are unselected members. That's the difference here. You just understand? This 60 less applied. This 60 is separated as 30 selected, 30 unselected. Selected unselected. Understand that concept? Therefore, you have to subtract this 30 from denominator. What will happen? This ratio here. So this new ratio is 5:1. From this step, you can find the value of x. Just make the cross multiplication here. So here, if you are finding this different cross multiplication, this is 3x minus 30, which is equal to 5x minus 150. So therefore, this is 2x is equal to 120, hence x is equal to 60. What we have to find out, how many candidates had applied for the process. As per this initial assumption, what is the total number of students? That is 3x plus 1x. So therefore, total applicants, that is 3x plus 1x. So which is equal to 4x. So as we got x is equal to 60, therefore this is 4 into 60. So therefore total 240 candidates applied there. So this is the application style, or that's the algebraic method of this kind of a question. So there are some ratio type of approaches easily possible. I will explain that method too. So whenever we are considering this kind of a question, so there is another ratio type of approach that's similar to this process. You can easily find the value of x in such a situation. You just simply write the initial ratio of selected and unselected. So you just simply write the initial ratio here, that is 3:1. And write the second ratio, that's the final ratio, that is 5:1 here. 5:1 here. Just write down what's change occurred in the number of selected members and number of unselected members. Don't forget here the total strength of the 60 applicants we are removing. Out of those 60 members, 30 are selected, rest 30 are unselected. Understand that point clearly. So in such a situation, if you need to find what's the multiplicative factor applying on the first ratio. So how to solve this one? The tricky changing ratio concept, we can apply that method. You just, for finding this x, you just make a cross multiplication like this. This is 5 into 30 minus 1 into 30. 1 into 30, that's the first step. And then moving to the denominator. Understand, this is similar to the previous conventional type of approach. This is a quick method to reach the value of x. After the rest of the operations are same. Then for getting the denominator, what do you want to do? You just multiply these values, that is 1 into 5 minus, then multiply these values, this is 3 into 1. So what is value here? This is 150 minus 30, that's equal to 120. And this denominator 5 minus 3, that's equal to 2. Then what you will get? 60. We got that 60 easily. So this is another effective method for finding these changes in ratio values, which will be the multiplicative factor. So this method you can apply this type of question. These are frequently tested type of questions. So then after that, if you need to find out the total strength, what is the total strength? As per the assumption, we assumed that the total strength that is 4x, because 3x plus 1x, 4x. So we have the value for x is equal to 60, therefore 4 into 60, so that is 240 candidates. So that's the total strength. Okay, then move to the next question. Manjit can do a work in 18 hours if he is joined by Jaya, who is 100% more efficient. In what time will they together finish the work? If you have the very basic ideas of time and work, and if you're well aware about the very basic results of time and work, then easily you can do it. Some of the ratio aspects also here, and you have to apply that ratio concepts effectively. So how to do it? First of all, we just think about, or we have to consider the ratio of their efficiencies. So here, if we are considering these two persons, Manjit and Jaya, so it is given that Jaya who is 100% more efficient. Therefore, first we are considering their efficiencies. So what is the ratio of their efficiencies? Here Jaya is twice efficient than Manjit. Therefore, if Manjit efficiency is 1, Jaya's efficiency is 2. That's it. Clear? So then, Manjit can do the work in 18 hours. Then Jaya in how many hours? From this step, we can easily do it. So Manjit efficiency, suppose if you are considering this step, Manjit's efficiency is 1 unit. Manjit can do a work in 18 hours. Then Manjit and Jaya together, Manjit plus Jaya together, their efficiency is 1 plus 2, that is 3. So then how many hours they together require? That's a simple type of approach. As we know, this is a case of inverse variation. So therefore M1 into D1, that product, horizontal products are equal, same as M2 into D2. Then how to do it? 1 into 18 equal to 3 into something. For finding this something value, this is 1 into 18 divided by 3. Simple. Therefore, 6 hours they together required. So understand that application style. Here we just first found the ratio of their efficiencies. So Manjit efficiency, that's 1. How we can connect it to the practical situation? What this 1 represents? Manjit can finish 1 unit of work per hour. Here the time is hour. That's why 1 unit of work per hour. Similarly, Jaya can finish 2 units of work per hour because it is given that Jaya's efficiency is twice that of Manjit. 100% more means twice. So therefore, Manjit and Jaya together, if they are working together, they can finish 1 plus 2, 3 units of work per day. So what is the work here? So Manjit, when he is working 1 unit per hour, he required 18 hours for the completion of this all work. So such a work in the sense 18 hours, 18 into 1. So that's the total quantity of work. Similarly, if they are finishing 3 units of work, then how many hours they required? Therefore, 18 by 3, that's it. Here you have to understand this type of all the situations, horizontal products are equal because these two components are inversely proportional. Then the next question, 2 cars travel from city A to city B at a speed of 30 and 36 km per hour respectively. If one car takes 3 hours less time than the other car for the journey, then the distance between city A and B. How we can find this kind of a question's answer easily? Here again we can apply the ratio concept. Here it is given that their respective speeds. So first of all, we are reaching the conclusion here. What is the ratio of their speeds? So here, if you are considering the speed ratio of A and B. So here 2 cars, city A to city B. Suppose if you are considering the first car to the second car, these 2 cars here. So what is the ratio of their speed? So whenever thinking about their speeds, it is given that speeds are 30 km per hour and 36 km per hour. You have to make it in the form of a ratio. 30 is to 36, that's simply 5 is to 6. The very important understanding related to this concept, if we have the ratio of speed, then we can directly make the ratio of time by inversing the given ratio. How we can inverse this ratio? 5 is to 6. Its inverse is nothing but 6 is to 5. So this is 6 is to 5. 6 is to 5. Then what's the next thing and the question? If one car takes 3 hours less time, that means the time difference. So what is the time difference here? That is 1 unit. Don't forget, here 6 units, 5 units, therefore the difference is 1 unit. What this 1 unit represents, that's the 3 hours. So this one is representing 3 hours. So you can find the time taken by either this car or this car, any one. So I am taking this one. So then what this 6 representing? So as 1 is representing 3 hours, 6 is representing 6 into 3, that is 18 hours. Understand that point. That means this car continuously travels 18 hours at a speed of 30 km per hour for covering that particular distance between A and B. Therefore, the required distance we can easily find. So therefore, the distance is nothing but speed into time. Therefore, 30 into 18. So as we know, this is equal to 540. So the answer is 540 kilometer. So this is the answer. Got it? So this is a very tricky approaching style, this ratio type of method. It's a very relevant approaching style because whenever we will get this kind of questions in always such similar type of situations, you can effectively apply this ratio method. A trader has 12 quintals of wheat. I sold a part of it at 13% profit and the rest at 23% profit, so that he made a total profit of 17%. How much wheat did he sell at 23% profit? It's a direct allegation type question. Hope you all are a little bit familiar with the concept of allegation and its application style, because we already discussed so many types of allegation questions and its application in various this kind of similar questions. So first, what you have to understand here, 13% profit, 23% profit, those two varieties, when we are considering their aggregate profit, is 17%. So there we are directly applying the concept of allegation in such a situation. So how we can allegate it? So first, if we are applying allegation, so that's a mathematical tool for finding the weightages. So here the first variety, it's sold at 13% profit. Second variety, it's sold at 23% profit. If the students are not much aware about the allocation, so just understand, I just simply explain how to apply the allocation tool for finding the ratio of these two varieties. Then after that, we can think about which are the quantity distribution here. Here, when we mix these two profits, we will get a net profit of 17%. You just write down that's the middle of these two values. So this is the first step of allegation. Then what you want to do, you just write the differences diagonally. Here, 23 minus 17, that's equal to 6. Take this difference. So this is 17 minus 13, that's equal to 4. So these two values, 6 and 4, we can write that's in the ratio 3:2. What it means, here, this 3 representing the quantity sold at this percentage of profit. This 2 represents the quantity sold at this percentage of profit. Then we have to find out the quantity sold at 23% profit. What is the quantity representing the 23% profit? That is 2. It's because this is 23%. Clear? Then we have to find out what this quantity actually, it's from 12 quintals. This 12 quintals should be distributed in this ratio. So before that, we just consider what is 1 quintal. What is 1 quintal? Maybe most of the students are not aware about this quantity. Think about what is 1 quintal. 1 quintal is equal to 100 kilogram. In connection with this, you just simply consider what is 1 ton. 1 ton is 1000 kilogram. Here 1 quintal is 100 kilogram, therefore 12 quintals means 1200 kilogram. Therefore, we have to consider this part, the quantity, required quantity. That means the quantity of wheat sells at 23% profit. So therefore, the required quantity. I am not writing that detailed step here. What is this? This is the quantity of wheat sells at 23% profit. That is represented by 2. This is 2 by 5. Why 5? That is the sum of these values. Of this 12 quintals, that is 1200 kilogram. We just simplified. So once we are simplifying this one, this is equal to 240, right? 240. So just multiply it together, that's equal to 480 kilogram. So that's the answer here. The answer is 480 kilogram. So this is the way of approach. This is a smart way of approach towards this type of a question. A student multiplied a number by 6 by 13 instead of 13 by 6. What is the percentage of error in the calculation? So understand what is the direct approaching style towards this type of a question. You don't want to bother about any kind of further simplification. I just teach you the very simple step of this kind of a calculation. First of all, you have to identify what is the correct operation and what is the wrong operation. Correct operation in the sense, instead of, after this instead of, which quantity will be there. So what's the actual meaning of the question? Actually, there should be the multiplication by 13 by 6, but mistakenly a student just multiplied it by its inverse, that is 6 by 13. So therefore the correct one is 13 by 6, understand? So how to identify it? Immediately after this instead of term, which fraction occur, that you have to take as the right operation. So this is 13 by 6, just multiplied by 13 by 6. But mistakenly he multiplied it by 6 by 13. Suppose we just consider our actual number as 1. Actual number as 1. Actual result will be 13 by 6 of 1. And this wrong entry, that will be 6 by 13 of 1. That's it. You don't want to bother about which will be that number. So directly you can apply this one. We are going to frame a ratio between correct and wrong answers here. So whenever we will get two quantities like this, 13 by 6 and 6 by 13 in the form of ratio, you have to multiply or do it in the cross multiplication process. What is 13 into 13? 13 into 13, 169. Just multiply these two values. This is 6 into 6, 36. So here 13 into 13, you just write here. 6 into 6, write here. So this is the correct answer. This is the wrong answer. Then what is error here? So here error, that is the difference between these two values. What is the error here? This is equal to 133. That's the error here. So then how to find the percentage of error? Understand? This error percentage is nothing but error divided by correct answer into 100, that much percentage. So here error is 133 and this correct answer is 169. Just do the operation here. Yeah, this itself is a little bit complicated one, but in such a situation you can do some of the approximations. Look at the answers here, all are in decimal forms, not in a convenient form, but easily you can tackle this one. Anyway, this 133 is less than 169, therefore we are sure our answer is less than 100%, so we can easily eliminate these two options. Anyway, this 133 is more than 50% of 169. What is 50% of 169? So 50% of 169, that's equal to 85, or that is 84.5. That's it. Anyway, this is greater than 50%. Now we are sure that is greater than 50%. Hence, what remains there? So here only one answer, that is 78.7%, or its approximate value is 78.7%. So you have to understand that kind of a smart approach even at the final step of calculation. So whenever we are attending the percentage of error question, you can follow this method. Whether it will be in this form, that means the nature means what is the specialty of this kind of a question? Here 6 by 13, 13 by 6. It's in the inverse form. It's not mandatory that in the case of inverse form, if it will be two different ratios, two different fractions, at that time also you can apply this method. This is also a most frequently tested kind of question. There's another question from simple interest and compound interest here. Simple interest on a certain sum of money for 3 years at 14% per annum is half the compound interest on 10,000 for 2 years at 10% per annum. The sum placed on simple interest is. So first of all, you have to find out this part. So what is the net rate of compound interest? So in such a calculations, first you have to find what is the net rate of compound interest. So here net rate of compound interest. How to find a net rate of compound interest? Here 10%, 10%, 2 times. So you already learned the concept of successive variation. So directly you can find it. So this is 10 plus 10 plus 10 into 10 by 100%. 10 into 10 is nothing but 10 square. That's 2 times 10% increment will be there. That's it. So this is 21%. So that is the net rate of interest. Therefore, we have to find out what is the compound interest for 2 years on this amount 10,000. Therefore, that's simple. This is 21% of 10,000. 21% of 10,000. That's equal to 2,100. Rupees 2,100. Then move to the first step. How it occur? Simple interest on a certain sum of money for 3 years at 14% per annum is half the compound interest. So this is the half the compound interest that we have to take. What is half of this value? That is the 3 years case. So then we are considering this is simple interest for 3 years. How to find simple interest? That is PNR by 100. You already learned those things in the basics. Simple interest is equal to PNR by 100. Once we are considering these parameters here, we are going to find out the sum. That means P, we are going to find out P. And number of years, that is 3 years. 3 years. A rate of interest, that is 14. So this is exactly half of this value. Half of this value. So therefore, half of this value. What is the half of this value? 2,100. So that's equal to 1,050. Just simplify it. So therefore, what is the value of P here? P is equal to 1,050 into 100 divided by 3 into 40. So whenever we are doing the simplifications, first of all, we can cancel like this. So this is equal to 350. Then what about this 14 and this 350 will be there. So therefore, whenever we are doing this one, this is equal to, when we divide both these values by 7, this is 50, this is 2. Further it by 2, this is 25, right? So therefore, the final answer is 2,500 or 2,500. Here the answer is option D. Clear? So here, first you have to understand this net rate of interest. That's very important point here in the case of compound interest. So that is R plus R square by 100. If the shopkeeper sells an item at 1,000, which is marked rupees 1,250, then what is the discount he is offering? So it's a direct question. Direct question in the sense, first of all, you have to understand how to find the discount percentage. Discount percentage is nothing but the given discount is what percentage of the marked price. So this is the way to find the discount percentage. Here the marked price is rupees 1,250 and he sells it at rupees 1,000. Therefore, here the selling price is rupees 1,000. Then what is the discount here? So discount is nothing but this selling price is how much less than the marked price. Here the difference is 250. Then as per this result, what is discount percent? This 250 is what percent of 1250? That's it. So directly you can find it. This much percentage. Here we know that 10% of this value is equal to 125. Therefore, it's 20%. It's simple, quite simple. So this is 20%. Otherwise, you just simply divide it. So here, the percentage of discount is 20%. If a cylinder of radius 7 cm, height 9 cm is melted and constructed into a cone of the same radius, what will be the height of this cone? So whenever we are considering the terms or the figures like cylinder and cone, how it will become? Here we have to consider the quantities. Here cylinder and cone we can consider. What is the volume? Here we are framing or melting it and framing another one shape. There the volumes are same. That's a simple logic. So what is the volume of cylinder? So that is pi r square h. What is the volume of cone? So that is 1 by 3 pi r square h. Got it? Understand here the heights are different. So therefore you can put this as h1, therefore this is h2. These two heights here, radii are same, only heights are different. Then how to find this heights, how it is possible? Here this r square are same, clear? So then how to find this height, h1 is to h2. So that's simple. So whenever we are considering this h2, we are going to find out. Or you just put these values here, these two values are same. Therefore this is pi into. So r square is common, therefore you don't want to put the value of r there. Keep it like this. Pi into r square into, what is h1 here? h1 is 9 centimeter. This is equal to 1 by 3 of pi into r square, that's common. What is h2? That we have to find out h2. Here we know that this pi r square become cancelled. Correct. Therefore this h2, that means the height of cone, that's equal to 27 centimeter. Without any further step of operation or complicated kind of operation, it is irrespective of the value of r because both the radii is same. So that's why. That means if you are framing a cone from a cylinder, for keeping the same radii, only the height will increase to 3 times. That's it. That's a simple way of approach here. What is the measure of an interior angle of a regular decagon? First of all, what is a decagon? Decagon, it has how many sides? 10 sides. 10 sides. So this is a 10-sided polygon. This is a regular decagon. Regular decagon means all the sides are equal, all the interior angles are equal. So how to find sum of all interior angle of a polygon? Correct. Sum of all interior angles of a polygon. So we are discussing about convex polygons, but usually we will get the questions related to convex polygons, so we don't want to bother about that part. What is the sum of all interior angles? That is n minus 2 into 180 degree. Here n is the number of sides. N is the number of sides. Therefore, each interior angle of an n-sided polygon, that is simply n minus 2 into 180 degree by n, because it has exactly n interior angles. So that's the simple logic or simple type of approach in this kind of a question. Apply this result. So how to apply this result here? Here we have 10 sides. We have 10 sides. Therefore, here the n is equal to 10. This is 10 minus 2 into 180 degree by 10. So this is equal to 8 into 180 by 10. That's simply 8 into 18. What is 8 into 18 here? This is 8 into 8, 64. 6 is there. That is 144. So this is the answer. Answer is 144 degree. So whenever we need to find out each interior angle of a regular polygon, you can apply this result. The diameter of a circle is 28 centimeter. Find its area. It's a direct question. If the diameter is nothing but 2 times of radius, that's equal to 28 centimeter. So therefore, what is radius? That's equal to 14 centimeter. We are going to find out its area. So therefore, area of a circle is pi r square. So as the options are in the numeral form without the presence of pi, you have to write the numerical value of pi here. What is the numerical value of pi? That is 22 by 7 into 14 for the convenience of our calculation. We can arrange the values like this way. Just do it, the simplification here, 7 2 times here. Just multiply them together. How it is possible? This is 22 into, you just multiply it is 28. What is the product here? So when we are doing this one, this is 560 plus 56. So that's equal to 616. Just simply directly multiply it. 560 plus 56, that is 616 centimeter square. So it's a direct question. Coefficient of x in x plus 8 into 6 minus 3x. Coefficient of x in x plus 8 into 6 minus 3x. So what you want to do, you just cross multiply it. Applying that distribution method, just multiply it. First x into 6, that is 6x. X into minus 3x, minus 3x square. Then moving further, here we just multiply it with 8. 8 into 6, that is 48. 8 into minus 3x, minus 24x. So whenever we are simplifying this one, my 6x minus 24x, that is minus 18x. This is minus 3x square plus 48. What is our question? We have to find the coefficient of x. What is the coefficient of x here? Here x is here. Its coefficient is minus 18. So our answer is minus 18. That is option C. Find x plus y. If x plus y equal to 10x square plus y square 68, then xy. This is an identity-wise question. So here we just consider the basic identity like x plus y the whole square. What is x plus y the whole square? Maybe you learned it's in the form of a plus b the whole square. Here x plus y the whole square is x square plus y square plus 2xy. So you may learn it in the order x square plus 2xy plus y square. That's not a matter. We just rearrange it like this. From here, we can catch what is x square plus y square. So therefore, if you need to find x square plus y square, so that is simply x plus y the whole square minus 2xy. X plus y the whole square minus 2xy. We have to find this x plus y, or we can directly apply this result here. X plus y the whole square, x square plus y square is available here. So directly from this step itself you can find instead of writing or this rearrangement. This rearrangement in the sense, if we are simplifying this one, so this is from the step itself we can catch. So here x square plus y square plus 2xy, that's a direct application. Which are the values available here? X square plus y square is here. So this is x square plus y square. What it is? 68 plus 2xy that we have to find out. 2xy we have to find out. What is x plus y here? X plus y, that is 10. Therefore this is 10 square. This is the step of operation here. Understand that's the application of the identity. So therefore this is 2xy. Just write that term here. This is 100. 10 square is 100 minus 68. Therefore, this right side, that is 2xy. 2xy. So this is equal to 32. Then what is the value of xy here? Xy equal to 16. So the answer is option D. The sum of the digits of a two-digit number is 17. If we add 9 to the number, the new number obtained is a number formed by interchange of the digits. Find the number. So it's also a frequently asked model question. But whenever you will get such a question, which is the most easiest way or the convenient way, you have to catch the answer from the option itself. You don't want to go for any kind of algebraic type of operation. First, what you have to consider, what is the sum of the digits? You look at the options. Here the sum of the digits, 8 plus 9, that's equal to 17, right? So there is a chance. 9 plus 8, again 17, but 7 plus 8, that's 15, therefore it's not the answer. These are not the answers. Then the next step, if we add 9 to the number, the new number obtained is it's formed by interchange its digits. So if we are taking this 89, When we add 9 to this number, what is the resultant here? That is 98. Look at here, 89 becomes 98. Therefore, it's in the reverse order or interchanged the digit. Therefore, it's satisfying both the condition, hence that's the answer. Look at this one, 98. When we are adding 9 to 98, what you will get? That's another set of digits. So there is no connection with this digit. Therefore, this is not the answer. This is a simple logic. Clear? This way we can catch the answer of this type of questions. Instead of considering the algebraic type of approach, you have to follow this method. There's another important type of question. It's also based on an identity. So how we can apply the identity here? First of all, you have to learn the method here. So here, we just simplifying these terms. Here, if we are making it in the simplified addition format, so that is x square by yz plus, I just rewrite the step here, y square by zx plus z square by xy, so which is equal to 3, which is the LCM on left side that you can write, that is x, y, z. Correct. If you want to make this denominator in the form of x, y, z, we have to multiply it with x. You just multiply the numerator also by x. Therefore, this is x cube. Similarly, here this is zx. If you want to make it as x, y, z, we have to multiply it with y. Therefore, this we can write as y cube. And what about the last step? This xy, we have to multiply it with z. Therefore, this is z cube. So that is equal to 3. So then how we can conclude this one? This is x cube plus y cube plus z cube is equal to 3xyz. So when it occurs, so then after this step you cannot make any conclusion if you are not aware about such kind of identity. So it's based on an identity. It's occur when there are two conditions. Those two conditions are here. This is from this step. If x cube plus y cube plus z cube equal to 3xyz, the first condition is x plus y plus z equal to 0. What is the second condition? Or x equal to y equal to z. These are two conditions. But in most of this type of questions, we are taking this possibility. There's another one possibility. So this is another one possibility in the sense you just simply think about x equal to y equal to z. If x equal to y equal to z equal to 1 each. So you just check whether it's satisfying or not. When we put x equal to 1, so therefore this is 1 square by 1 into 1. That is 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1, that's 3. If you put x equal to y equal to z equal to 2, then also it will be equal to 3. That's why this is the second possibility. But what is the problem here? 1, 1, 1. Suppose 1, 1, 1. So this value is 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's equal to 3. 3 cube will be equal to 27. But our options are not containing that result. Therefore, you have to take this result. Understand that's the most frequently considering possibility is this one. There are two such possibilities. So then, if we consider x plus y plus z equal to 0, what is the result here? What we are going to find out? What is the 4x plus y plus z the whole cube? So here we have the value of x plus y plus z as 0. Therefore, the 0 cube which is equal to 0. So this is the result. Clear? So this is based on an identity. So we can think about what is that identity here. What is the identity? So that's also an important understanding in such a type of question. Here the identity is very simple. A cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc is equal to a plus b plus c into a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca. This is the identity. Look at this identity. If a plus b plus c equal to 0 or the second term equal to 0, what will happen? This right hand side will be equal to 0. So here we can consider the first condition. If a plus b plus c equal to 0, what happened? This entire right hand side will become 0. So therefore, what we can conclude? This is a cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc equal to 0. From here, we can write a cube plus b cube plus c cube. So that equal to 3abc. Understand? It's occur when a plus b plus c equal to 0. So this is the commonly considering possibility. So another one possibility also be there. That's the second possibility. So while we are considering that second term, that is if that second term, that is a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca equal to 0. Then also we can write a cube plus b cube plus c cube is equal to 3abc. So when it will occur, if there is a condition like this, so this is equal to 0, this is equal to 0. So what is the inference here? Then a equal to b equal to c. It occur when a equal to b equal to c. That's the second condition. These are the basic idea of those questions based on the identity values. A man's child running from P at 11 a.m. with a speed of 10 km per hour. He runs for 2 hours and then take a 1 hour rest. He continues this till he is caught by another man who starts at 2 p.m. 2 hours and then takes that 1 hour rest. He continues this pattern till he is caught by another man who starts at 2 p.m. from point P and runs non-stop at a speed of 15 km per hour towards the first man. At what time in p.m. will the first man be caught? So that's an interesting question. Here how it will be. He runs for 2 hours, then takes 1 hour rest. So that's a continuous pattern. In each hour, he is running 2 hours, then take 1 hour rest, like that. The second man start by 2 o'clock only. 2 o'clock only. So then how it is possible, how they can catch. So whenever we are thinking about such a situation, so that kind of a tricky question, so different situation possibilities we have to consider. So we have to start from this condition 11 to 2. What is the time difference here? From 11 o'clock, 12, 1, that's 2. At 2 o'clock, what will be the distance covered by the first person? First person covered 10 kilometer per hour. Then the third hour, usually that will be at rest. So if you are considering the persons like A and B, so that's a simple approaching style. First we are considering this kind of a tricky type of question and convenient set of values. So first we are considering that pattern. At 11 o'clock, 11 to 12, so you just consider 12 noon, what happened? This first person covered 10 kilometer. And 1 o'clock, he covered 10 kilometer. And 2 o'clock, he is not completing any further step of distance because he is at rest. This is the idea. So therefore, we have to consider it will be like in the cumulative manner. At 1 o'clock, he covered a total distance of 20 because 10 plus 10. In 2 o'clock, he covered a total distance of 20. So which will be the immediately next hour, that is 3 o'clock. At that time, don't forget the second person also started. This person further moved 10 km per hour, therefore 30, this person 50. Clear? At 3 o'clock, this person 15 km per hour. Then what about the next step at 4 o'clock? At 4 o'clock, this person further moved 10 km, that is 40 km per hour. So therefore, 40 km in total, and this person covered further 15. That's equal to 30. Yeah, he is almost nearest, right? Yeah. Next very important point. in the fifth hour, what happened as per he continues this pattern. Therefore, after each 2 hour, 1 hour at rest. After each 2 hour, 1 hour at rest. Therefore, here at rest. That means he is still at that 40th kilometer. So there we have to consider this person in the fifth hour, he can cover 45. That means this person caught the first person, second person caught the first person in between 4 and 5. In between 4 and 5. So look at the options. So which will be the convenient time here? That is 4:40. That is in between 4 and 5. So that's enough for this kind of a question. If all the options lies in 4 and 5, then only we have to move further. So what is the next step? What's the accurate step here? So at this particular time interval, we just consider, so in this particular time interval, at 4 o'clock. So now the distance. What's the difference in distance between these two persons? That is 10. So what's the time taken by B? Don't forget this A at rest. He is not moving. What's the time taken by B to cover this 10 kilometer? As B speed is 15 kilometer per hour. Therefore, time taken by B after 4 o'clock. After 4 o'clock. Don't forget that point. Time taken by B to cover 10 kilometer. As the speed of B is 15 kilometer per hour, you can write it as 10 by 15. That's equal to 2 by 3 hour. What is 2 by 3 of an hour? 2 by 3 of an hour is nothing but 2 by 3 of 60. What it is? 40 minutes. 40 minutes. That means this happened after 4 o'clock. So therefore, at which time they will meet, or the second person caught the first person. Therefore, the required time after 4 o'clock, 40 minutes. Therefore, 4:40 p.m. Got it? So if you need to catch this accurate time interval, because if the options all are lies in between 4 and 5, then only. Or if at least one more such option is there in between 4 and 5, then only you have to think about this type of an accurate step of operation. Otherwise, these types of all the questions, if it will be the convenient set of values or convenient length of the calculations, then you can apply this kind of a tabulation for finding the answer. This is a cumulative distance tabulation. That means, so first hour, second hour, third hour, in each hour, what's the distance is covered in total. Like that we have to consider. Okay. The cost price of 60 articles is same as the selling price of X articles. If there is a profit of 20%, what is the value of X? Yes, so many different ways you can approach this question, but I will give you a most effective way of approach towards this type of a question. The cost price of 60 articles is the same as the selling price of X articles. Always you have to start writing from selling price. Selling price of X articles. Selling price of X articles is equal to the cost price of 60 articles. You just write the step like this. Whenever if you need to make the ratio of selling price and cost price, you have to start to write it. Don't forget, you have to write selling price at left side. Selling price of X articles is equal to cost price of 60 articles. If we have the value of X also, then also you have to write like this way, because we can directly write selling price by cost price from this step. You can avoid rest all the things. You just simply write this is 60 by X. 60 by X. Hope you got the idea. This is selling price by cost price. What it mentioned that there is a profit of 20%. How we can express that profit of 20%? Profit of 20%, it's very simple. If cost price is 100, selling price is 120. If cost price is 100, selling price is 120. Got it? So then think about what is the value of X. So here we can simplify this one. This is 60 This is 50. Why I am simplifying like this? Here on left side also this is 60, right? Therefore, what is this x? So from this step directly we can catch the value of x. So therefore, x is nothing but 50. This way we can catch. So many different algebraic kind of approaches are possible here, but this is a direct approaching styles. You don't want to worry about such kind of step of operation. Okay, then the next question. 5 years ago, the average age of a family, which includes father, mother, and a son, was 35 years. 3 years ago, the average age of the father and mother was 46 years. What is the present age in years of the son? So it's a bit tricky question. So because various periods are given there, you have to do the operation carefully. So you can catch the answer with the help of that average kind of operation itself instead of considering the total. Suppose here we are considering the periods like 5 years ago. 5 years ago. So what happened here? 5 years ago, the average of father, mother, and son. So what is the average of father, mother, and son? So that was 35 years. 3 years ago. 3 years ago. So at that time, this average only given, average of father and mother only given. The average of father and mother, that is 46. What is the present age of the son? So now we have to consider the present situation. Present situation. So here you just consider, during this present situation, what should be the average of father, mother, and son? So that's a simple trick. You just catch it from the first line. Here the average is 35. Present years means here it's an increase of 5 years. That means we have to add 5 with each observations. That's the basic idea of averages. If all the observations are increased by 5, the average also will increase by 5. Therefore, how we can write that average value here? This is 35 plus 5. That should be equal to 40. But as per the second data, how we can write what is the average of father and mother at present? At present, what could be the average here? At that time, you have to consider what's the difference here from this 3 years ago to right now. So there is 3 we have to add. 3 we have to add. When we add 3 to their averages, that is 46 plus 3. So that's equal to 49. Got it? So this is the simple situation. Then from this step, we have to catch what is the age of the son. So how we can connect it? So from this step, this is father. At present, father, mother, and son. The total age is nothing but 3 into 40, which is equal to 120. Out of this, what is the sum of father and mother? That is 2 into 49. That's equal to 98. Just subtract it for finding what is son's age. Here, if you are simplifying this one, so this is son's present age is 120 minus 98. So what is the difference here? So that's equal to 22 years. So here the answer is 22. Okay, then we can consider the next question. It's from the topic ratio. So here ratio A by 3 equal to B by 2 equal to C by 5. Then what is the value of the ratio C plus A the whole square, A plus B the whole square, B plus C the whole square? This is a different form of ratio. How to find this A by 3 equal to B by 2, A by 3 equal to B by 2 equal to C by 5. If you have such an expression or equation, then directly you just simply consider this is equal to 1. Simply consider if you are making, or more clearly this will be in the form this is equal to K. or whenever you will get such a ratio expression or equation expression, if you want to find the value of A, B and C, you just simply take this is A is to B is to C is nothing but 3 is to 2 is to 5. Here more clearly we can write this is A equal to 3K, B equal to 2K and C equal to 5K. I just explained this first way in the form of algebraic approach. Here this is, then you can substitute those values in C plus A the whole square. C plus A the whole square is to A plus B the whole square and B plus C the whole square. So how it is? C plus A, here 5K plus 3K, that is 8K the whole square is to A plus B 3K plus 2K, that is 5K the whole square, and finally B plus C 2 plus 5, that's equal to 7K the whole square. While we are observing this one, 64K square, K square and 25K square and finally 49K square. As K square is common in all the terms, we can simplify it further. We can write this as 64 is to 25 is to 49. So this is the perfect algebraic approach. But whenever you will get such a question, you don't want to do the operation like this. Instead of considering this kind of an algebraic approach, directly you can reach the conclusion with the help of ratios in similar type of questions. How it is possible? You don't want to consider it like this. Directly you just take it. If we have such an equation or algebraic expression like this, you can directly write what is A is to B is to C. Just write the denominator. Only for this type of equations, A by 3, B by 2, C by 5, just write it as 3 is to 2 is to 5. Then look at the required ratio form. That's also a ratio form. Therefore, here this is C plus A the whole square is to A plus B the whole square is to B plus C the whole square. You have to make sure all these expressions and the similar degree forms, that means all are in squares. Just simply substitute these values here instead of ABC. Here C plus A, 5 plus 3, that is 8. So first value, that is 8 square. A plus B, 3 plus 2, that is 5 square. B plus C, that is 7 square. So we'll get it directly 64 is to 25 is to 49. In such a situation, you can directly apply these values. So understand this form of ratio. This is one of the ratio forms. If it will be in the form of denominators, only the values under that bar, then you can directly write those are the ratio values. There's another one question, which one is the largest among these fractions? You all look at the fractions, whether they are convenient. No, not at all. So is there any tricky approach towards these questions are possible? So sometimes if there is any peculiarity, that means any common relationship between the fractions, then we can apply it. Which are the common relationships for this kind of a comparison step? Either the numerators are equal or denominators are equal, or the difference between the numerator and denominator in each fraction be equal. Then we have method for the comparison. But it's not like that. There is not any common condition like that. All are proper fractions. Which are proper fraction? Numerator is less than denominator. Then which trick we can apply here? The very interesting trick that we can apply here. Take the reciprocal of each fraction. That's the trick we are considering here. Take the reciprocal. Take the reciprocal. So that's our trick we are applying here. Take the reciprocal. Take the reciprocal in the sense, the first one, 113 by 5. Second one, 120 by 7. Third one, 145 by 13. And the last one, 160 by 70. That's it. Is it difficult to divide? No, you don't want to find the accurate value, only approximation, only approximation. You just take how many times this 5 lies in 113. You don't want to bother about its decimal part or the remaining balance part. Here 2 times of 5 here, that's in 10. And 13 will be there. There is another 2. So that means 22. That's equal to 100. That's enough. That's enough. The second one. In 120, here 1 time of 7 is there. That is 7. 50 will be there 17 times. That is 17. It's enough. And the third one, how it will be. This is approximately 1 time here, 13. 15 will be there. That is another 1 more time. And this one, we just consider 160. How many times this 7 will be there? That is less than 10. Actually, you don't want to find out how many times it will lie here. And it won't be 10 times, right? It's 9 times. Clear? That's it. Look at these values, which is least. So here, the least is this one. This is least. What we are going to find out? Here, the given fractions, which is the largest. So if this is the least, therefore, what we can conclude? Its reciprocal, that is 17 by 160, is the largest. 17 by 160 is the largest. Whenever you will get similar type of question, this is the smart approach towards such a question, instead of finding the decimal values of those quantities or any types of other comparisons, because it's easy to do. How many diagonals are there in octagon? First of all, what is octagon? Now, you already experienced some of these geometrical figures based on the number of sides. Here, octagon. First of all, octagon. Octagon has 8 sides. You can remember the term octopus. There are 8 legs we can consider. And October, that was the 8th month in the previous calendar. Right now it's the 10th month. So previously that was the 8th month. Got it? So octagon. Got it? So here it has 8 sides. So then we are going to find out what is the number of diagonals of such a polygon. So here number of diagonals in an n-sided polygon. Number of diagonals in an n-sided polygon. So that is quite simple. This is equal to n into n minus 3 by 2. I'm not going to explain the proof of this result. You just simply think about it. It's a very simple thing. You just draw it and think about how this result occurs. So keep it in your mind. That is n into n minus 3 by 2. So in an octagon, what is the number of diagonals here? So this is the important result here. This is the important result, number of diagonals in an n-sided polygon. Therefore, in our question, so therefore, the required number of diagonals. Required number of diagonals. So what it is? So number of diagonals is 8. 8 into n minus 3. So that is 8 minus 3 by 2. So this is 8 into 5 by 2. So which is equal to 20. So that's equal to 20. So we have 20 diagonals here. So that's the direct result-based approach. Move to the further question. It's a question from data interpretation. So understand the data. The table given below represents the cost, revenue, and tax rate for XYZ Limited for a period of 8 years. Cost and revenue are given in 1,000 crores. So, and it is given some additional information also. What is profit for any year? Profit is nothing but revenue minus cost. So here we have revenue data and cost data for 8 years. And profit after tax for any year. So that's simply profit of that year minus tax of that year. There the very important understanding, tax on any year, that is tax rate of that year into profit of the year. What it means here, tax is calculated on profit. Tax is calculated on profit. Understand that point clearly. So tax rate of that year into profit of the year. So that's only the basic idea that you have to understand from this data. Here the first question, how much tax in rupees 100,000 crores was paid by? That's only unit. You don't want to bother about that thing right now. So if there is any options are confusing, then only you have to bother about this quantity, unit measures. That is 1,000 crores. That's simple. Was paid by XYZ Limited in Y7, year 7. Year 7 we just consider. So how much tax was paid? So here we have to consider what is the profit. So what is the profit? In Y7, here the profit is. So that is the difference between these two values. That's equal to 1,600 minus 1,240, which is equal to 360. In each of these values are in 1,000 crores. But don't worry right now, because even question also contains 1,000 crores. Then what's the tax here? That is 33%. So I already mentioned that point. Tax is applicable on that profit amount. Therefore, what is the tax amount here? Tax amount is simply 33% of 360. 33% of 360. So you just observe this one. Here we just multiply this 33 into 360 then by 100. That's enough. Got it? Like that we can do it. Or while observing itself, we will get the idea that our answer will end in 0.8. How it will be? 33 into 360, right? So 33 into 0 will be there. 3 into 6, that is 18 will be there. So point should be here. So look at the options here. Such value is 118.80. So we can find the answer through this way. Otherwise, you just multiply these two values, then divide it by 100. That's a simple step. So the second one, which of the following is correct about the profit after tax for years Y2, Y6 and Y8? Y2, Y6 and Y8. Got it. So profit after tax. So here, if it will be Y2 in Y2, so how we can consider? What is the tax amount here? That is 22. So what is its remaining? Like that we have to consider. If 22% tax is there, so what remains there? 78%. So this is 78% of. What is the profit here? This difference we have to catch. That is 1,100 and 850 is there. So therefore that's equal to 250. 250 is there. Got it? So you don't want to calculate right now. Keep it in that form itself. And the next step, that is Y6. Y6. So how it is? Y6. So Y6, same kind of operation we can perform here. This is 70% off. What is the difference here? This is equal to 300. 300. And finally, Y8 also we just consider this is 15%. Therefore, it remains, that is 85% of this difference we just consider, that is equal to 450. 450. Look at these three quantities. Which is greater? Without doing the calculation, which is greater? We are sure this Y8 is greater. Y8 is greater. So therefore, we can conclude Y8 is greater. So look at the options. We can cancel these two. Y8 is equal. As we know, these two values are not equal. Not equal. Y2 and Y6 are not equal. Look at the values here. Those are not equal. Therefore, this is also not the answer. Therefore, this is the answer. That means here we don't want to do the calculation. If we are doing the calculation also, it's not a big issue here. You can easily catch it. What is this values here? This is 250 into Y8 will be there. And this is 70 into 300 will be there. How to do it? Like that, we just multiply it. So therefore, from here, this option, we can conclude it. In this case, that is Y8 is greater than Y6 is greater than Y2. So easily we can catch this one. Then, if you're doing the multiplications, how it will become? This is 78 into 2.5, like that we just consider. What is 78 into 2.5? So 78 into 2, or that will become 5 by 2, like that we can do. Or this will be in the form of 39 into 5, because this 2.5 is nothing but 5 by 2. 5 by 2. So what is 39 into 5? That's equal to 195. So this value is 195. What about this one? This is 210. So definitely this y6 is greater. If it's required, then only you have to do it like that. So without that kind of a conclusion, also we reach the conclusion initially by observing the options. And finally, how many distinct values of yearly profits are there? Yearly profits we just consider. First, this is y1. So that is equal to 200. y1, it is 200. y2, what it is? That is 250. That is 250. And y3, that is 300. 300. y4, 950,200, that's equal to 250 again. So this is y4, that is also 250. There is a repetition. There is a repetition. And this one, y5, 1050, 350, that's equal to 300. There is a repetition. It's repetition. And this is 300. This is another 300. So 300 repeated again. And 1240, 1600, therefore 360. 360, the difference. And finally, this is 450. So this is 450. So we have 5 distinct values here. So 5 distinct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 distinct values. These all are repeated values. Hence our answer is option C. So these are the set of questions from this particular mock exam. So here we experienced some of the tricky approaching styles in some kinds of questions, not much complicated, all of the questions. So some questions are in the form of some calculation-based tricky concepts. And here you learned some of the important geometrical results in some of the questions as part of this particular exam. And some of the tricky approaching styles related to that ratio type of questions. Those are some important inputs that you can experience or you can recall from this particular set of exam. You just go through those questions and its approaching styles. So how we performed those types of simplification process. These all things you have to note down. So and you try to replicate the same kind of performance in further set of exams. And you have to perform well. Right now we can wind up. Thank you.